Alright guys, going to be starting here in a second.
Trying to get my Bluetooth headset working. One side's not working for some reason. I guess I don't really need both. So let's go ahead and we'll get this started. I guess nothing's going to work tonight. Sorry about that, guys. All right, let's see. It's not showing me the right information. All right, I think we're okay though. For some reason, I just can't get anything to work. But that's all right. Maybe I should have rebooted before I started tonight. Anyway. All right, welcome Sunday Night Ragchew on my Prep and Paul channel. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let me connect here. Okay. Hopefully that'll tell me if someone gets on. Welcome, guys. Let's see. Tonight is the night. Let me find my little image here. All right. There it is. This is the topic tonight. Tonight's topic is putting it all together. It's time. It is time to get things put together, organized, planned. You know, I've got the radio. Great. What kind of plan do I have in place to use that radio? Just get on the repeater, get on the net. You know, I've got food storage. Well, what's the plan for that food storage? How much of that food storage do I have? What are my plans for communications if I have to leave the home? What kind of mobile, what kind of portable? Do I have it set up and do I have a plan? Tech Prepper Gaston made a really good video. Now I forgot, yesterday or today. And just made me start realizing, you know, all the stuff he does. I really like Tech Prepper's videos. And he actually gets out there and does it. He literally plans things out and does it in his preparedness and in his radio, and then combines them both very good. So well done, Gaston, if you ever do happen to see this. So what I want to do is start getting some plans put in place. I've got some things planned. I've got a book. It's, well, I won't get it. It's, I got a notebook. I've had a brother-in-law pass away recently, 49 years old, tragedy, unexpected. And I had a coworker friend's husband who passed away, and he was like 59, 60 years old, just died in his sleep. And so, that friend of mine at work, she told me a few times to how difficult it's been for her to do things as simple as get a login for a password that's on a utility bill, or access the laptop that has a lot of information, because the husband took care of everything. So tonight's Ragchew is kind of a mix of both preparedness and ham radio, and that's really what my channel is all about. It's predominantly ham radio, but I think we're going to start a series similar like others, like the Tech Prepper. He does a lot of different series focusing on a specific area of preparedness or radio. So I thought what I'd do tonight is start working on some videos over the next many months in solidifying a plan, both preparedness and e-com's plan, and getting all my gear put together so that I actually have a usable, workable plan that's also flexible, so that I can utilize it in shelter-in-place situations. I can utilize it in if cell is down but internet's up, or if cell and internet's down, what are my communications going to be? WinLink, JS8 call, HF, VHF. So that's my plan now. Tonight is going to be my start. I've got my notebook, and I'm going to start putting it together as far as plans on paper for, shall we say, SOP, my standard operating procedure as the father of the house, kind of the communications and preparedness leader in the family, and then also put together my hardware. So this is going to be kind of put it on paper and put the hardware together to use it, which is why I picked this photo, and I kind of brought a bunch of different products into the image to kind of give you guys an idea of what I was going to talk about. I've done a lot of plans. So for my church, I was for the last little over 2 years, the net manager, kind of the MCOM's manager, I guess, to find best practices and things that work for the group here in North Texas and Oklahoma to be able to communicate during disasters, or grid down, or cell and internet down. So we had it in place. We had 7 different. So if I pull this up, I'll just explain real quick. It was basically, it's all, hopefully this will show up. It's all laid out in step by step, like kind of if you know basic programming language, which I did years ago. I'm not a programmer. Some of you may be. The whole if-then programming thing, if this, then that type of thing. So we've got step-by-step instructions for all the people who are leaders in their smaller locations, and then as an area overall, how do we work together and make all of our plans come together for the area. So if, say, Tulsa has a grid down situation and can only get out with HF, those of us in the area surrounding can use NVIS communications and then get information in and out from them as needed. One of the things we do is when I look at our e-com's plan, you can see there's a hierarchy of contacts. But basically we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 levels of communication. And those 7 levels of communication go from our first one, of course, is text or email, and we have a Google form to report any disaster or effect of your smaller area. You report to the next person up, and then they report to the area, who then reports to the region. And so basically, if everything's working, yeah, we text or we email any immediate needs, or fill out that Google form to update things. But in an emergency, text and email is our first one. Then it goes through conference bridging. It uses Echolink. If you're within range of the repeater here in Denton, we have a repeater for VHF, UHF. And then it moves to the HF, 80, 60, and 40 meters. And then let's say that the communications were really bad. Potentially we could get WinLink email out through VHF or if not HF, then VHF, UHF, digipeaters perhaps, or something like that. So been working on that. The guys that brought me in were already started in that, but I'm not accustomed to building plans. I went back to school. My education is emergency management, and I assist as much as I can for the last, I don't know, well, COVID, there was a couple years off there, but since 2015, I've assisted locally and kind of in the county with various things that I enjoy. I helped write up the first drone use program for our town, and I've helped teach CERT trainer, and helped teach, of course, ham radio and licensing and stuff like that. So I like to take part in all that. I enjoy it all. I like to try to teach and get more people involved and kind of aware of what they need to do. So they've, a couple of weeks ago, they've moved me out of the regional net manager, and someone else is going to do that, which I actually think is good because he has a permanent setup for his antenna, and I always had to set mine up every month. I had to set it up, and I'm in an HOA in a smaller yard, but then they asked me to be the area emergency coordinator over Dallas. So there's a Dallas and a Dallas East area. So this is going to be a little bit bigger responsibility in the sense that I'm now going to be coordinating the smaller towns such as Louisville, Little Elm, Carrollton, and the emergency coordinator over those smaller areas. I'm going to be coordinating all of us together to then coordinate with the other councils like Tulsa or Oklahoma or Dallas East or Fort Worth. So I've created a notebook, and I've already started working on that, building the plans, and I'll talk to the previous guy to see what he had set up, and then I'll mold it and develop it as best I can, and probably start doing some local VHF nets with that group because I think they can all hit the repeater in Denton. So I enjoy putting plans together. I enjoy flexible plans that are moldable and can change and adapt as needed. So the paperwork, preparedness side, and all that is going to be a little bit easier on that end because I'm kind of used to that. And at work, I have a lot of downtime that I can sit and do that kind of stuff. Whereas I can't put together my hardware. I can't, build my radio go kit or bag or anything like that. So tonight, what I wanted to focus on more was kind of all this gear I have. That never did transfer over. All this gear I have. I have all this except the tablet. I don't have the tablet or that backpack. I have a different style backpack. So I want to start going down this path of getting myself organized on the hardware side as well. And on the radio nights, I'll probably focus on the hardware, and on preparedness Sunday Ragchews, I'll probably focus on perhaps the plan. And I might mix them in and out as we go, or just make separate videos altogether and create some playlists as I develop my overall preparedness and IMCOM. So on this photo, as you see, I've got I just recently purchased the VX6 Yaesu waterproof. I've been wanting to get one for a while. It was only $250 at HRO. So I finally broke down, bought that, and the RT Systems cable. I have the G90. I've got this bug out mini, real nice, portable, very small end fed, as well as the car. This is the car Aries, Coffee and Ham Radios Aries I built. I did a video on that as well. I was using the Rig Blaster plug and play unit for my mobile audio, but it was a lot of cables. So thankfully this DigiRig has come out. Everybody seems to be using it, and I love it. And I bought the cables for both the G90 and my 891. And I'm tempted now to buy the cables for the VX6 to be able to do that as well. Of course, I've got the 891. I've got two of those, a mobile, and then I have a portable. One of them is in Japan. It stays in Japan for when I'm there, so I don't have to lug it back and forth. And Chameleon, I just put this image of Chameleon because this setup, this is kind of the impasse setup, has the coax, the spike, the full vertical pieces, and then some wire. So I like this setup. The Alpha antenna is similar. They have a similar thing. You can do vertical and in feds and such. So this will definitely be part of my mobile. It may not be the mini, which is larger. The micro, it might be the micro, which is very small. And it's just, so that's where I'm going to be at, is just kind of figure out what am I going to put in my pack that will allow me to do all bands and all modes. I want to be able to do the digital as well. So, and then of course my Nano VNA is smaller than the Rig Expert antenna analyzer, so I'll have that implemented as well. But anyway, this is kind of the focus, guys. One thing I did do is I broke down. I was putting it off. I did break down and get the armor lock case. This metal frame. Tech Prepper uses this, and a lot of other guys have been using this. Really solid, heavy-duty frame. So, and the reason I'm leaning, I'm most likely going to do the 891 instead of the G90 is I just feel safer with the Yaesu than the G91, than the G90, just because it just feels more robust, more durable than the G90. G90 is a great radio. I've used it a couple of times just on the back patio. And that may be more of a POTA or backup rig, but the G90 will probably be the focus of my man pack. I got the PowerWorks little what is it? The watt? What do they call it? Or the watt and power analyzer, watt meter and power analyzer. I'll probably implement that. I'll probably implement this just because it's kind of nice to not be able. I know the SWR, that little tiny SWR meter. I'll probably implement that as well. I've got smaller radios, but again, this little True SDX, it's just, this is not something I think I can trust to be durable enough. And, it works, but it's not something I want to trust in an emergency, grab a pack and go and perhaps set up for a local EOC or some kind of comm situation. I'm not going to want to rely on something like this True SDX, even though it's a fun radio. Then I've got the only Bioenno battery I've got is this 15 amp hour, and I love it. This is what I use anytime I go portable or something and need something. I usually have this instead of a power supply. This thing just works amazing. And then, as I said, I got the VX6. And this is an old, it's not a Molly, but it does have a clip. So I'd like to go to the all Molly system. This isn't a very strong hold grip as well with the Velcro. Shout out to Kate MRD, Velcro works. So yeah, I've been wanting to get this for a while just because I want a radio that I can rely on if I do an SSR, a search and rescue, or an Aries or something. There's maybe some light rain. I just don't want to worry about my radio getting ruined. And I've always been using my FT2D, and that one's absolutely not waterproof. That's pretty much it. I've just got this handy just because it came with it, the book for the VX6R. So I'll probably make some laminated, placarded little, or just buy those little mini booklets, like the nifty booklets for both radios that I'll have in there. I was thinking of perhaps having a little some kind of laminated cards with Morse code, with the band plan, all that kind of stuff. I might just get them from Quirky QRP. He's got some great stuff. I may just order that, but that's one of the things I was thinking I need to get in there. I went through Amazon today and was putting a whole bunch of stuff in my cart, just to kind of get, as I came up with ideas, and was watching Tech Prepper's video. Also, when I was watching that video, I just was loading it up. It's a few $100s. It's not that I'm going to get it all. It's just ideas popped in my head, and I wanted to get them in that cart so that I could remember to look at these things. And one of those things was the all-weather pen and notepad and kind of a little booklet. So I'll probably get that implemented as well. That's just a few things. Besides those end feds, I was thinking of the antennas. As far as verticals, you know, this chameleon, I think it's the MCC, multi-configuration coil, I think is what it's called. I might implement this as well. It can fit in a pack. Just depends on the pack. So really, the first thing I got to find is the pack. But this, and then the small max length, I think is 58-inch whip that comes with this, and then the counterpoise kit, which is on a previous video, is pretty compact. So I might implement that as well to have a vertical as well as the end feds. Or the other thing I thought about doing is a linked dipole, perhaps getting using Anderson poles or whatever, banana clips to clip those together. A lot of guys are using those linked dipoles. I know Coffee and Ham Radios has one, I think, that they sell. But I really enjoy making antennas, so I might just do that one on my own, and then do kind of those NVIS bands, 40, 60, 80, perhaps add 20 as well. I'll look into that at some time, and that'll be probably be a video as well. So those are kind of my ideas, guys. So if you guys have any suggestions or comments, if you're watching this video later, put your comments, ideas, suggestions. If you got an idea on backpacks, in fact, let me go to some of those. I'll show you some of the ones I was looking at. So there's quite a few. I was just looking at a lot of stuff, guys. The two things I have not decided on, and kind of the core is going to be my pack. This pack is used by a lot of people. I don't like that it. I just don't like that it doesn't have a full cover, and perhaps I could, stitch that myself. We have a machine, and we can put a nice solid canvas needle on there and use some good thread and perhaps build my own. But this seems to be the good one right now. And then you can add Molly ones in front of it. So that's the one I'm kind of leaning towards. I found this one, not this one. I found this one, but I have yet to look at size and everything. This one's, unless it's bigger than I want, this might be too big. So if you guys have a suggestion of backpack, please put it in the comments. I would love some good suggestions on packs that, ideally would fit snugly this armor lock systems with the 891 in it. I'd like for that section to kind of be snug, which is why I may go with that one I just showed. The other thing I haven't decided on, now I've got an Android tablet. My older cheap Windows tablet that I liked because it had all the software on it. It was a cheap one and it broke. So the other thing is going to be something like this, which is what Tech Prepper uses. I can't remember if this is his model or not. It probably is because I had it pulled up. This one they don't sell anymore. But these are not cheap, guys. Here's one right here that probably would work. Look at the price here, $2,300. I don't know if that's really real or not, but I know there are some newer ones that are $2,000-$3,000, so I'm not going to spend that. If this is a good deal, or if this is what is a good one, I'd like it to be a Windows machine, just because that's the software I use, and I need it to be durable. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on this type. If you guys see one and you want to, please feel free to leave it in the comments. Any suggestions for durable type, preferably Windows operating systems. I'm not a programmer. I don't do Linux. I've run Ubuntu and I've done stuff in the past. I've done a little Raspberry Pi, but I'm not a programmer. So preferably Windows 10 if possible, so that I can use all my current software. Survival Tech Nord does a lot as well. I've watched a lot of his stuff. Appreciate all the work he's done and all of his portable ops. I've got solar panels all set. They're not the small compact ones like Survival Tech Nord uses, Julian. But for now, it's good enough for now. So ideally, focus on I need the pack, and I need some kind of interface for digital modes. Please leave comments in the comment section if you have some ideas. I looked at this one just because, these kind are a dime a dozen, and I've got a few of them from Gigaparts, and they may work. The size is a little bigger than Armor Lock, but I think it may work, so I'll test that out first. This style is very popular, of course. And look, I could even get pink to go with the Coffee and Ham Radio's coffee mug. So that's where I'm at, guys. Please leave your comments on suggestions for ideally pack. I need the pack first. It needs to be modular, preferably the Molly style, and I want to start working on that. And because that's going to be the core of my hardware, putting my hardware together, it's going to be built on this pack. So anyway, and then the next thing, digital interface, some kind of Windows 10 durable, tough book type thing that's not too expensive. There's a sleeve I found someone else was using. So I know there's a lot of options, so I look forward to the comment section. And like I said, I'll start putting some videos out as I build it. I'll put some shorts perhaps out, some longer videos on my slow development of the hardware pack, and also on the paperwork side, the software side, the SOP side. I'll make some videos on that as well and share them, and hopefully get some comments on those videos on things that I can do to improve or streamline or whatever my EOP, my personal and family EOP as I go forward. I appreciate you guys supporting and watching, and all the suggestions that you may give me. And I'll try to get a video out this week on the Alpha Hextena, if weather permits. If not, I will see you next Sunday night, 9 p.m. Central Time on the Sunday Night Ragchew. I'm Prep Ham Paul, guys. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next week on Sunday Night Ragchew.